Now let's look into string formatting in Python. There are majorly three ways of string formatting. First one is the basic using percentage character. This follows the C-type formatting where we use percentage character followed by arguments like S for string or R for raw string or integer. Second one is dot format. This is advanced version, much better than the normal character formatting. And the next F string, which is even simpler than dot format. So let's take them one by one, starting with the character formatting. In character formatting, there are majorly four types of formatting: string formatting, raw string formatting, integer, and float. Let's first take a look into string. Now, unlike before where we were actually typing it, this time I have kept the code as it is so that we can save on the uh, time I spend on timing, right? So the syntax is using percentage s. So first we will have the template if you call so. So this is where your actual string is there, and wherever you will leave percentage s will become a placeholder. That means this is the portion, this is the space that we want to fill in later. So as we know, string is immutable. We cannot use an index element and then assign it a value. We have seen that before. It is immutable. We cannot change elements by indexes, but we can always keep a placeholder in the form of percentage s that tells Python that in this position we are expecting to give it some value, and the value can be given later on again using percentage sign. So in this string within single quotes is the template, and percentage s is the placeholder, followed by, as you can see here, another percentage and the value that we want to fill in. Okay, so in this example says dear percentage s, which becomes a placeholder, and then we will put the value Aditi here, right? So as you will see, the message printed is dear Aditi, it was a pleasure to have served you, please visit again. Now suppose rather than Aditi we would have Aditya, then the message would simply replace Aditi with Aditya. So it's very simple, right? So it's just like a fill in the blank where we have a blank template and then we can fill in the value as per our needs and requirements. In this example, we took a string. If we would want to put a value which is little more complex, which is like quotation mark or an escape character, then rather than using percentage s, we would have to use percentage r. This includes the raw representation of the Python object. So let's understand this with an example. Okay, sorry. So suppose we are writing message 1 where the escape sequence for new line is, and then we want to print escape sequence n, right? There is the same message but with percentage r. I will print both of them. In the first case, because we are using percentage s, it will treat it as a string, and slash n would first get converted into new line, and after that it will be added here. So let's see. So as you can see, the escape sequence for the new line and the slash n has been already converted to new line. What if we just want to print it as it is without getting converted, without getting interpreted, just like the raw representation, without any interpretation? Then we are going to use percentage %r, and then the output will remain as it is. So in this case, slash n is not interpreted by Python because it knows it is going to be a raw representation, not the string representation. So most of the time you might be using percentage s, but in case you want to use quotation marks, escape characters, or things which have meaning in Python, then please use percentage r. Okay. Next, we will see percentage t, which is used for integers. So suppose we have this number seats required, which is some um, float number, right? Which is in fraction. And if we just put it with s, which is a string format, it's going to give entire numeric value. And suppose we just want integer, don't want it to be in form of fraction, then we are going to use percentage %t. So let's run it. So as you can see, if you just use percentage %s, then it will take this value, which is actually a float, and just put all the digits, which doesn't make sense, right? You just want to use the integer value, then you are just going to use percentage %t. So we have captured three types: percentage %s, percentage %r, and then percentage %t. The next one is percentage dot any number that you want to give, and f. This is for the float. This gives you control how many number of digits you want after decimal. So for example, I want to print two digits after the decimal. So then you are going to say dot two digits. That means it's going to put two digits after decimal. So let's run it. Oh, I already ran it. So you can see the value is 3.14. Now, if you want to say you want to print three digits after decimal, then simply put dot three. So the number of digits supported here would be three. So these were four very fundamental character formattings. But though it sounds very simple, there are many limitations of this kind of character formatting. Let's say if we want to have multiple formatting in one sentence, we want to use both string formatting, float, and the raw representation. So suppose this is a template which says first thing that someone, we are keeping it blank, said after winning a amount of lottery was, and then this. So say we are saying first thing that Aditi said after winning some, I don't know, some big amount, some millions or billions. I can't believe it, with exclamation mark, right? And say let's reprint it. So it gets printed, right? But the second iteration where we have changed, say, number with name, it's throwing error, of course, because the first it is mapped based on the sequence. So the first blank here would be filled in with the first value. Now if we swap any one of them, then entire thing goes in jeopardy. It throws error. So the sequence has to be very well noted, and then same thing has to be put in while passing the argument. This becomes really difficult when you are working on a big piece of code. So things like this and many others makes it really difficult to work with character formatting. So for that, we will see a little advanced option, which is dot format. Okay.